'Tis the season for gifts. And guys, you won't believe what arrived. I received a package this week that took my breath away. Within this unsuspecting Tupperware container lies an ant colony of epic proportions. A super colony with masses of ants, hundreds of queens, and menacing super majors. I can't wait for all of you to meet them. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Welcome to the AC family. Enjoy! So before I open this and show you the ants inside, let me give you the lowdown as to how this package got to me. A good friend of mine was chopping up some bamboo, and within the pieces, he found a huge ant colony with tons of brood, workers, and queens. He told me he managed to collect the colony and keep them in a rice sack before transferring them to this orange container. Now, when I opened the container, not only did I freak out at what I saw, but I also instantly knew what plans I had for this colony. Stay tuned until the end for that, because I'd also like to know your opinions to help determine the fate of this ant colony. So as you can see, some of the ants are already kinda escaping. By looking at the ants, can you ant enthusiasts guess the species? Just a clue. We already have a similar species in our ant room. Alright, let's open her up and have a peek inside. AC family, behold our brand new colony of Pheidole ants, also known as big-headed ants. Now, for those of you who've been following this channel for a while, you know that we already own a colony of big-headed ants, living on a floating island open concept bonsai ant farm called a Vista. But this colony is a different species, and much, much, much larger, as you can already probably tell. Within this container lies a massive super colony with tons of brood, all the white things there, workers, even specialized larger super major workers, and over 100 egg-laying queen ants. This is one monster ant colony. Watching them took my breath away. Aren't they gorgeous? Okay, so let me show you around. Let's take a look at the workers. Here you will notice that the workers of this colony come in different sizes. This trait is called polymorphism, where you have smaller workers and some really big workers with large heads and massive mandibles. These larger workers are the jaw force of the colony and specialize in defense and cutting things open. Check out these super majors here that are grayish and orange in color. They've just emerged from their pupal stage and are still hardening. In a day, they'll be darker as their exoskeletons harden, just like their fellow sisters. I wonder what the first few hours are like as a new adult ant walking among the huge super colony for the first time. Another amazing thing about this colony is that they have a ton of egg-laying queens. Not all ant species allow more than one queen in a colony, but this species does, and it's a trait called polygyny, where lots of new pregnant queen ants come together after mating and start cooperatively founding a super colony together. Check out this royal sorority of queens gathering here. Being able to have many queens in a colony is advantageous in the ant world because it means you can grow your ant army to a powerful size quicker, thus increasing your chances of survival and success in the wild. And I mean, take a look at all the brood just laying around. The 100 or more queen ants of this Pheidole super colony clearly have been busy. But before we go on, I've got to do a few things to help this colony out. Now, a lot of you ant keepers out there end up with colonies in the same way as this colony ended up here. You or someone you know is out chopping wood, and before you know it, you've unknowingly broke open an ant nest. I know a lot of people accidentally end up with a starter campanatus colony, aka carpenter ants, in this way. So for those of you who do, here are some tips to help your new colony feel cozier in their temporary holding container while you figure out their long-term housing. So as you can see, I've already placed in a test tube setup. Basically a test tube with a cotton ball creating a water reservoir. This will provide the colony water, but also the colony can easily dry out without the wood they were nesting in. So a test tube setup will help give them the humidity that they need. Also, if you're using an AC test tube, I suggest using this, one of our AC test tube adapters, the one with the little hole, to help further make the inside humid and the inside air more still. I placed the AC test tube adapter onto the end of the test tube. Also, if the colony is huge like this, you'll need several test tube setups to accommodate the ants and all their brood. But lucky for us, I have this huge test tube here. I've created their water reservoir here, and on the end, I stuffed some cotton and fixated a small connector tube so they could enter the test tube and relax in the massive humid space inside. I carefully placed the test tube into the container. The ants were all over it. Look at them all going crazy over the strange giant glass receptacle that was just placed into their space. Now, another thing I needed to do was make sure the ants could easily reach the openings of the test tubes. So I moved the smaller test tube up against this wooden piece. There, now they could get in easier. I also needed to do the same for the tube of the larger test tube. Done. Ah! The ants instantly clung to my hand and rushed up my arm. These ants thankfully don't sting like our fire ants do, but they can leave a bite that hurts a little if they manage to get you in the softer skinned parts of your body, especially when those massive super majors bite. I quickly did my best to shake them off, brush them off with cotton, and then later pick the remaining ants off with my fingers. These ants are truly aggressive and are serious at defending their colony. I've also baby powdered the sides of the container, so to minimize escapes while filming, but some of the ants have still managed to scale the barrier. These ants are true athletes. It wasn't long before the ants began moving the colony into the tubes. Look at the commotion at the test tube adapter. The ants have all made the collective decision to start the mass move of the colony into the test tubes. As the colony began moving into the tubes, I stared for a very long time at the colony. In a trance, I watched the ants moving their brood into the test tubes. It was just amazing to see how quickly the ants mobilized and even guided the queens to the test tubes. The royal sorority we saw earlier began to disseminate and move towards the opening of the test tube and inside its humid, comfy space. The large test tube was also generating quite the buzz as more and more ants began to explore its spacious interior. There was still a lot of brood to move. In this brood pile, you'll see a lot of pupae and mature larvae. And look, there's a newly eclosed worker ant, perhaps just a few hours eclosed, fresh from its pupal stage. I bet it's super confused as to what is going on. It will soon be mobile in a few more hours and start working at helping the colony move the family into the test tubes, as you can see with these newbies here. Guys, isn't it amazing that as soon as the ants emerge into adulthood, they automatically know what to do? Instinct has programmed every ant with a set of simple instructions that bring about very big results when carried out collectively. It's the beauty of eusocial insect society. It will take several hours before the entire colony is moved into these preferred spaces within the test tubes, and it seems the smaller test tube, in no time, is already starting to fill up. Check it out! I see eggs there, and even a queen. Wow, they're like sardines. But the ants are still busy moving in regardless. Ants like it tight. Now, all of this movement and carrying of the brood into the test tubes requires a lot of energy. So I decided to help give the ants that boost by placing in some sweet jelly. A few videos back when I filmed at our future ant house, which by the way I'll be talking more about in a bit, I noticed the local Pheidole colony in the yard loved the sweet jelly we gave them. Turns out, the ants didn't seem to take to the jelly right away, which probably meant the ants were hyper-focused right now, on the move. I decided to also place in this freshly crushed young roach to give them some protein, to make sure all the larvae are fed, and queens constantly egg-laying. This the ants seized immediately. The workers and even super majors came to grab the roach from all ends. By now, masses of ants had already begun to fill our larger test tube, as more and more ants began the great move into their new temporary nests. let's close them up for now and allow them to move in peace and discuss our plans for this new super colony of Pheidole ants. So some of you AC family have probably been asking, okay AntsCanada, what are you going to do with 2 Pheidole colonies? Well, I decided to take this colony in for a very important reason. And I want to know what you guys think of this. Hear me out. So in a past video, we performed an experiment to see what ants lived around our future ant house, currently being built out in the countryside. We wanted to see what sort of awesome and exotic ants we would be living with. We saw some incredible weaver ants living in a nearby tree, which was great. But we also saw a lot of invasive ant activity, which was a bit of a concern. Many invasive ants like ghost ants, black crazy ants, and pharaoh ants can drive native ants out of an area, which is not so good for an ecosystem. Thankfully, one of the baits we set drew a big crowd of Pheidole and Carabera diversa ants, both of which are native ants. It gave us hope that the native ants of the area were indeed present and fighting against invasive enemy ant lines. And so going back to this colony, I figured, hey, why don't I hold on to this super colony of Pheidole ants and release them onto an occupied spot near some bamboo somewhere around our future ant house? That way, we could help strengthen the population of native Pheidole ants and hopefully help the native ant population push invasive ant populations back. I even saw several queen elates in this super colony. See the queen with wings? Which means they're in the process of producing reproductives now, the seeds to future Pheidole super colonies. So what do you think, guys? Should we do this? Now the main thing I want to ask you guys now is, how long should we keep this colony? I should be heading back to the ant house next week, and I can possibly release them. Or if you guys wish, we can hold on to this colony for a bit, grow them even bigger, then release them. Or maybe we can just keep them for years and release the elates when they start having a nuptial flight. Lots we could do here, and I'd like to know what you guys think we should do. So be sure to check to my pinned comment in this video and hit like on the course of action you vote for with this super colony of Pheidole ants. If you guys do vote we keep them, be sure to also leave a suggestion as to what you think their setup should be. A terrarium? An ant farm setup? Maybe another floating island like the bobbleheads? And of course, if we do keep them, this super colony will need a name. So be sure to leave your name suggestions in the comments, and the AC Senate and I will choose from our top 5 favorites for all of us to vote on in a future video. I opened the container the next day, and this is what I saw. The great majority of ants had moved into the test tubes. There were still piles of brood left to move, but I knew it wouldn't be long before the entire colony had moved in. I can't wait for this colony to fulfill a greater ecological purpose, and their fate lies in your hands. I'll do my best to grow this colony as big as I can, but for now, these ants are beloved newcomers to our antiverse as they join our ever-changing collection of ant kingdoms. Thank you all for watching and for supporting the ants. It's ant love forever. AC family, hope you enjoyed this week's episode. So many more ant videos are ahead, so if you haven't yet, do smash that subscribe button and bell icon now, and hit all so you get notified at every upload. Also, don't forget to hit the like button every single time, including now. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. Thank you. AC in our colony, I have left a hidden cookie for you here. If you would like to watch extended play footage of this Pheidole ant super colony, go check them out. And guys, it's that time of the year again. We just launched our biggest ant promo yet, the AC Holiday Sale 2020, where you get 20% off our AC Ant Tower Small and AC Hybrid Nest Mini over at our shop at AntsCanada.com. And on top of that, if you use the promo code AntLoveForever2020, you get our Ultimate Ant Keeping Handbook ebook, complete with care guides on specific commonly kept ant species, totally free, which you can add to your cart before checking out. Our easy-to-use ant farms, which you see me use in my videos, make an awesome holiday gift for anyone who loves ants. We ship worldwide and also offer full email support if you need our help. Plus, if you didn't catch a queen ant this season and need ants, Just visit the Queen Ants for Sale tab on our site to look for ant colony sellers in your area. Just a reminder, this promo ends January 1st, and you need to order before December 17th if within US, or December 10th if outside the US, if you hope to receive your package before Christmas. So visit AntsCanada.com today and own your very own AC ant farm and pet ant colony. And now it's time for the AC question of the week. Last week we asked, why can cockroaches still move their limbs even after they've been cut up into pieces? Congratulations to Srinivas Aladarthi, who answered, their brains, or more accurately their ganglia, are distributed along the center of their body, from head to tail. Congratulations, Srinivas Aladarthi, you just won a free Ultimate Ant Keeping Handbook from our shop. In this week's AC question of the week, we ask, what is polymorphism in ants? Leave your answer in the comment section, and you could also win a free Ultimate Ant Keeping Handbook from our shop. Hope you can subscribe to the channel as we upload every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video to help us keep making more. It's Ant Love forever.